What's up, barbecue fans? Welcome back to the patio. My name's Jake. You're watching Rum and Cook. Today on the channel, we're talking about the Yoder. More specifically, we're talking about the top 5 accessories that I think you should consider to just get the most out of your Yoder. I'm seeing in the comments there's a lot of you who have just recently received your Yoder, or you got a notification you're going to be getting it soon. You're excited, I'm excited. Grilling season, smoking season is here, and if you've got one of these guys, there are some accessories, like your cover, that are just gonna help you get a better experience from your Yoder. You know, cover is number 1 for me. It's not actually optional in my book. You know, there are some of you who are able to wheel it inside your garage and it's not in the elements. Lucky you. Most of us, we're not wheeling it around. It's out on the patio somewhere. It's out in the elements all year round. And if you're like me, I don't care if it's 20 or 90. I'm outside cooking. So a cover is just nice to take care of it. All of my grills and smokers, my patio furniture, my umbrella, I keep everything covered all the time. I just think if you're gonna spend money on something, cover it up when you're done, and it just keeps it looking in tip-top shape and extends the life of it before you've got to do any maintenance of it. So in my book, again, I don't think it's optional. It's not that expensive, and it's super easy to put on. A few of you asked me about, you know, lowering the stack, if that was took much time or anything like that before you got yours. I mean, when you get it, you're gonna see it's one screw. Basically, undo the screw, you lower the stack, you throw the cover on, you're done. Super, super easy. Let's go on to accessory number 2. Now we've got our cover off. You can see the stack is pointed down. This is storage mode. We've got a little kind of wing nut up here. Put your stack up, tighten it, away you go. So when you're done cooking, you hit your power button, the Yoder goes into a cool down mode, takes about 15 minutes, and then it gets down fairly cool. It's not completely cooled off, but really close. Wait a little while longer, you can put your stack down, throw your cover on, and you're done. Accessory number 2, these stainless steel sleeves. You can see I've got one on the front and I've got one on the side. You can buy them individually. The one on the side has some hooks here for your cooking utensils, which is always handy. On the front, I think you gotta have it. It's a sleeve. It covers up an actual wire rack, which is functional. It works, but let me tell you, my rum and coke almost spilled over a couple times. We can't be having that, so I needed to get the sleeves. Plates, utensils, no problem. Barbecue sauces for the most part, you know, they'll stand up on the wire rack. It's close together. However, I wasn't a fan, so the sleeves to me are a no-brainer, and just kind of cleans it up, makes it look a little bit nicer, and they're nice and easy to clean. Leads us right into accessory number 3, which, to be honest, when this one first came out, I was kind of like, I don't know about that. But now that I've had it for a year, and I learned a little bit about, you know, barbecue sauces, and, you know, depending on what kind of sauce you have, it's either got some sugar or it's got some acid in it. And what happens is it drips across the front, and it will actually eat away at this paint if you don't stay on top of it and keep it clean. I'm typically pretty careful, but there's lots of times when I've been moving too quick and all of a sudden I've dropped sauce or juices all over the front of it. And when you have the grease guard, you don't really care. You can wipe it up whenever you want, go inside, enjoy your dinner instead of having to wipe it up. And it's super easy to install. Just has a little lip, sits on the front. It's got a little rubber port here that comes out so you can clean it, and it'll just drain all out. But you can see it keeps the front looking nice and clean. I've only had it a couple times off in the last year, and that's really to use the thermal cover, because you can't use the thermal cover with this on. But it is nice to have. Just keeps it looking nice and clean. And when you put these two together, it gives it a nice, clean, finished look. Kind of ties in with your badge there. And if you keep it looking clean, I'll give you a tip at the end on how to do that. It just looks good. Accessory number 4 the half grate. I really like having the half grate. It's exactly what it says. When you buy one, you're gonna get a full grate for up top. This is just half. The reason why I like this is really if you're trying to grill hot dogs, burgers, chicken breasts, anything down here, and you're trying to get access to the sear zone, if you have this full-size rack in, it's difficult to work with. I mean, it's just not enjoyable. You might as well take it out because it's in the way the entire time. But if the half rack is in, you can now put some buns up here to keep them warm, or if you've got some meat that's done quicker than the rest of it, you can put it up here to keep it warm. It definitely is helpful to have. The one thing you might notice here is that I actually have the stainless steel grates in. And there's a few reasons why I have these guys. Number one, you can see that there's only 2 pieces on the bottom. So when I want to get access to the firebox, it's super easy. We just lift it up and slide. And because it's 1 piece, it's just that much easier. Number 2, they're stainless steel. So on occasion, I have left my top rack out by mistake, and condensation and dew overnight as you get rust on it. Now, as long as you keep it well seasoned, you're not really going to have that problem. But I did like the fact that stainless steel would just avoid that. And finally, with the pattern on here, I'm going to make some jerky. And you can put smaller pieces of meat without having to worry about it falling through the grates or vegetables or anything like that. So I do like the stainless the stainless grates as well. But I think at a minimum, you got to have the half rack. Yoder, if you're listening, I think you need to offer a half rack in stainless steel. So I think stainless steel is nice to have just because it doesn't rust. Accessory number 5, you can see I've got a brand new set here. These are grill grates, and they have a channel in them. Little lip goes in there, and they go together like that. And you can use the backside for things like bacon, and you can use this to sear some things up. And to give you an idea here, this is half of your grill. So at a minimum, you're gonna wanna buy 1 set. Why do I have 2 sets? You guys ask me frequently, actually. One of the common questions is, can a pellet grill replace my other grill to grill for barbecues and things like that? And one of the things I wanted to do was play with another set of grill grates to see how much surface area we can cook at higher temperatures down below. I mean, there's lots of things you can do. I did a smoked burger video. You could smoke a whole bunch of burgers and just sear them off as you need them. You can rotate things into the hot zone. Works perfectly fine. But I was thinking, if I got a second set of grill grates, how would that impact using that whole bottom surface? So we're going to do a video on that. And real quick, I'll tell you, if you're just getting these, take an onion, cut them in half, heat them up, and just rub it all over the surface area. That'll help put a little bit of a bonding surface on there to season them and make it a little bit non-stick as well. So you're going to want to do that before you use them. The other thing that I was a little bit torn with, I almost wanted to add a 6th accessory, but I decided not to. But the other thing is the griddle. It's cast iron, and it's the same size, so it actually fits this half side. I did a video on it where I did smash burgers. They were absolutely delicious, but you could do breakfast, fajitas, anything you want to cook on a flat top, it's there. And because it's cast iron, right, the heat spreads out across the surface. Once you get it preheated, you've got a large area to cook with, which is nice. Little side tip. If you have the griddle, and you're looking for a place to store it, what I do is when I'm done with it, I clean it up just like a cast iron pan. I put some oil on it, and then I put it, the griddle I put in my oven, and I just bring it up to temperature until it starts to smoke just a hair. Then I turn it off and let it cool down, and that just makes sure that your oil is not gonna go rancid or anything on it, and just keeps it non-stick and rust-free. And then I leave it in my oven. It's actually on the bottom of the oven all the time, and you know, it carries extra heat. It's not gonna hurt anything, and it's not gonna hurt it just to keep it in there all the time and bring it out. That way you don't have to find another place to store it. So that's always nice. Promise you guys a couple bonus things. First one, thermal jacket. I'm in the Northeast. If you're in an area that gets cold in the winter, I suggest you look at the thermal jacket. There's a lot of guys online, they're using welding blankets or moving blankets, wrapping them up. That works, but I'll tell you what, it's not working as good as the thermal jacket. This thing is heavy, it's thick, and it's form fit. It wraps all the way around. You've got to take off the grease shield here, but it wraps all the way around the sides and the back. And this winter, it got down in the 20s and I used it, and I was actually surprised. I've got a video, I will link that one below, but I was really surprised at the impact it made. So if you're in the Northeast, you're cooking outside in the winter, and you want to maximize your pellet use and stabilize your temperatures, recommend you look at getting that for this winter. Final bonus tip, if you want your pellet grill looking as good as mine, you need a couple products. This is ZEP. I've talked about this numerous times, ZEP 505. I use this everywhere. It's a degreaser. Works phenomenal. This guy, you can tell I dropped it. CitraSafe. This is great to use on the outside. Just get all the dust off, any of the grease off. It works really good. I mainly use this if there's some stubborn grease on the stainless steel areas, but you can use it a little bit, just wipe it off fairly quickly. You're better to use a CitraSafe cleaner on the paint itself, but as you can see, it keeps it looking nice. And then Shieldless Shine, if you've got stainless steel appliances or stainless steel anywhere else, this is gonna be your new best friend. This stuff works great. An appliance place, when I got my new dishwasher, told me about it. They use it on all their high-end appliances because it leaves a nice oil to help protect the stainless steel, and it just makes it shine like no other. A little bit goes a long way, just to let you know. So I'll give you a link down to those below. But those are kind of my 3 go-to cleaners that I use for outside, and you know, it looks good. Just super easy to use and gets rid of the grease and keeps it looking great. Hopefully you got some value out of this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed yet, why not? Click down below. And thanks as always for watching. I'll see you soon.